everyone, Tad Stevens here. Wanted to make this quick video on a subset of the 10 steps we take at RevGrow to maximize someone's profile on LinkedIn and generate leads for them, warm phone calls. So let's get going. Okay, 4 steps to grow your company's revenue using LinkedIn. Who's this going to be for? This quick video is for any C-level owner or similar business person looking to grow their sales in a non-intrusive, non-salesy approach that puts them in a position of authority, trust, and respect to have business conversations with their potential clients and not pitch fests or hard sales calls or meetings. I've found LinkedIn to be the most effective way to generate warm phone calls, meetings, whatnot with prospects that you already know, like, and trust you. This is not a push-button process. It does involve work, discipline, consistency, and most of all, persistence. Myself and others have used it successfully for years, and so can you. We're going to go fast, so please pay attention to get the most out of your time here. Full disclaimer, I do sell LinkedIn services, but there's nothing for sale in this video. The steps in this video are a subset of the full program that we offer at RevGrow. The steps in this video are enough to get you results if you execute them. Those results, however, are not typical. So please understand that my results are not typical because the average person who attends any training gets 0 results because they usually don't follow through. Following this approach will maximize your chances of getting qualified leads in the form of phone calls or in-person meetings, but does not guarantee those leads, phone calls, meetings, or any income. So who am I and why should you listen to me? Well, my name is Tad Stevens, and I am the founder and director of CPEthink.com. We started that back in 2002. I've had 25 plus years IT consulting experience for Fortune 500 or similar size firms, multinational, multi-language, multi-billion-dollar firms. I have degrees from UTA and UTD. That's University of Texas at Arlington and University of Texas at Dallas, for those who aren't familiar with those schools. Internet marketing I've been doing since 2004 when we went live with CPEthink.com. And I'm also have a Kindle book on Amazon and an in-print version as well. The Kindle was a bestseller for a while. Internet marketing for the small business owner, a handbook and reference guide for the smaller local business owner, that came out in March of 2014. I've been a LinkedIn member since late 2007, and as of today have approximately about 9,400 connections. And I've been doing LinkedIn qualified lead generation. And by qualified lead generation, I mean I don't just throw a net or have a shotgun approach to it. I am very targeted in my leads, and I've been doing that since 2015. So why is LinkedIn important? Not going to go through a lot of stats here because everybody knows it's big by this point. If you don't, it is the largest professional network. It is big, and it's getting better, or bigger at the rate of a couple connections a second or a couple new members a second. For B2B, your prospects are here. For business to business type prospecting or offers or just agreements or joint ventures, partnerships, whatever, I found LinkedIn to be the best B2B resource that there is. In short, it allows you to get warm sales calls with qualified prospects with very little effort. What we're going to be covering today are 4 steps, and this is the 4 out of the 10 that I mentioned earlier. We're going to cover optimizing your profile for your potential clients. Using LinkedIn search tools to find prospects that meet your target criteria, that meet the criteria that you want, the prospecting pool or the target audience that you want to go after, that you want to offer your products and services to. We're going to cover messaging in 3 steps: connect, message, and follow up. And then we're going to cover tracking and nurturing those connections after you get them. So first off, optimize your profile for potential clients, and stress there on your potential clients, because too many LinkedIn users make their profile about them. It's more about the benefits you offer and the problems that you can solve for your prospects than it ever is about you. In this situation, your LinkedIn profile is not your resume. But if you're looking for a job, then it is your resume, but that's not what we're talking about here today. The goal of your profile is to help people like the readers of your profile overcome problems and achieve their goals. So it's written to them, to speak to them. As the next one says, speak directly to those in your prospect persona. You also always want to leave a call to action or calls to action in your profile. So connect with me, send me a message, check out my blog, group, or video, or article, subscribe to my newsletter, which still works, by the way. Newsletters still work. Or let's have a chat. Make sure you leave a phone number, multiple ways to get in contact with you, because some people don't like to do the phone. Some people want to do messaging on LinkedIn or an email. So leave them multiple ways to contact you. So number 2, using search tools to find those prospects. You can see by the graphics here, in my mind, the people we're going after are the 2 gentlemen on the bottom. If you're not careful and you just go off just a title, you don't look at the profile, you could wind up with the 2 guys on top. Now those 2 guys may be up and coming, they may be, maybe the next Bill Gates or Larry Page, but then again, they may not. I'm still going to focus on the 2 guys on the bottom, and those are the gentlemen or women that I want to connect with. CEOs, founders, so on and so forth. So anyway, you have your basic search, which is good in LinkedIn, and you can upgrade that to a business level. But I prefer Sales Navigator. You have a lot more targeting criteria. You can get a lot more granular with your searches, decision maker titles, head count of the firm. Can't do firm revenue, but you can do head count, which is close. You can do industries and companies. I generally do industries, but I don't do companies because I do searches across industries, and I limit them by geographic regions. So like I'll do a state at a time for CEOs, founders, co-founders in Colorado, for example. And when I get through Colorado, then I'll move on to Utah, maybe, depending on which direction I go. I may be going to Kansas or down into Texas and then along the southern border, but I have a plan. I have a way that I go through the geographic regions because it's easier to track and control that way. And it also has complex keyword search. So you can have compound search criteria like I have here, where I have CPA and then in parentheses, owner or partner or CEO. And that equates to, it will bring back anyone that has CPA and owner, or CPA and partner, or CPA and CEO in their profile. It will bring it back in the search results. Then there's also LinkedIn groups for searching, which have been excellent in the past, but LinkedIn limited them before Microsoft bought them out. But now it looks like Microsoft is opening them back up some. We don't know, as of the time of this recording, exactly what that's going to look like. But it is rolling out in the next few weeks or month. So keep that in mind. Groups can be very powerful. But whichever method you use, after you get your list, make sure you look at the profile. Don't just connect with somebody because they're on the list. I can tell you from my list that I generate, and I'm very specific in my targeting, but doing this a long time, my targeting is really, it's pretty close to on the money. But there's still people that are in there because the search algorithm isn't perfect, that I don't want to connect with for one reason or another. Usually anywhere from 10 to 30% of the people that are returned I really don't want to connect with, so I do need to take at least a cursory look at the list, at the profiles in the list. Connect, message, and follow up. Messaging. A sample messaging sequence could include these first 6 steps. Now, I've got 7 here, but you want to do at least the first 6. First off is you want to connect from the list that we had in step number 2. You want to send them a connection or an invitation to connect, and I'll show you examples of that here in just a minute. And then within 24 hours or 1 business day after they connect, you want to send them a thank you. And after they send the thank you, or after you send the thank you to them, thanking them, you want to invite them to join a group, view an article, do something, give them something of value. But you want to wait for about 1 to 3 weeks. I usually wait about 1 week to 10 days usually before I send that first message, because you don't want to bombard them, because that looks salesy, and it is salesy. And you want the connection, you want the engagement here. You're not looking for the sale just yet. Number 4, you can invite them to a relevant group discussion, relevant post, a video, an article. Again, you're building trust, you're providing value for them. Oh, and the first two, I forgot to mention that in the first one, you're getting them to know you. The second one, you're getting them to like you. And then you start building trust. So it's know, like, trust that you're working on. Leading up to message number 5 or 4 or 6, depending on how you sequence it out, is you want to give them an invitation or extend an invitation to take them off of LinkedIn. Some type of call to action, not to sell, but a call to action to get them off of LinkedIn. That can be a phone call. It can be a meetup, a happy hour, morning coffee, leads group meetings, BNI meetings. It can be all kinds of stuff. But you want to get them off of LinkedIn. And then once they're off LinkedIn, that's where you would present your offer to them. So lastly, after you get the invitation out to them to get them off LinkedIn, you follow up with more trust, more value, and one more call to action. And if they won't usually bite after 2 calls to action, it's best to put them into a long-term follow-up at that point because you don't want to annoy them. And then just message them every few months or so, just to keep them warm, let them know you're out there, keep providing value, keep providing articles, and keep them top of mind, or maybe not top of mind, but in mind. Okay, connecting. So you have the targeted list, you have your client-facing profile. You want to give them a reason to connect with you, and never, ever, ever use the standard LinkedIn connection request. That is a dead giveaway that you're just going for numbers. So one way is to send an invitation indicating that you're wanting to provide value, or that your connection will provide value to them. So something like, "Hi, Bob. When I checked your profile, I noticed we both provide service to the management space. Want to say hello and let's connect." What you're telling Bob there is you're telling him that you're in the same niche, that you run in the same circles, that you know the same people, and so he may see that as value. He may see that as value to him and his firm, and that's the value you want to present. The value that he sees, not necessarily what you think, but try to put yourself in his shoes or her shoes and think about what they are thinking about as valuable. Another way to do it is to send a connection invitation demonstrating trust. So that could be something like, "Hi, Sue. When I checked your profile, I noticed we share some management connections. Wanted to say hello and let's connect." Well, we share something. We have something in common. So that builds a little bit of trust. It may just be minute, but you don't need a lot at this point. You just need enough to get them to accept your invitation. Again, do not pitch or offer anything yet. That is not what we're here for, and it's weird. And their sales radar will go off and they won't connect. They might even report you as, "I do not know this person," or "it's spam," and that will harm your profile. So stick with providing value to them, or what they think is value, or building trust, and never, ever, ever sell anything in the connection request. Messaging. As soon as they sniff out that you're selling, you will lose them. And they may disconnect. They may report that you're spamming or something. But so you don't ever want to sell your product or service on LinkedIn using these messaging. What you do want to do is you want to be personal. Use their first name. Pull out something of their profile. Use something about them, their company name, a post they made, an event they've hosted or gone to, something like that. You want to be professional. You want to be respectful, but you can also be friendly. LinkedIn is personal. These are one-to-one connections. These aren't company-to-company connections. Yes, there are a lot of companies on LinkedIn, but it's still individual to individual. However, it is not Facebook, even though it is still personal. You want to build rapport. You want to demonstrate your expertise, and that's where your client-facing profile comes in. Articles, videos you've posted, things like that. You never want to be flippant, arrogant, opinionated, ideological, political, religious, etc. Never take a stand on something where it gives someone an opportunity to disagree with you. Now, you may disagree with that, and that's fine. I do not incorporate my personal beliefs or opinions in my business dealings. I am here for business, and that is what LinkedIn is for. So I'm not going to talk to somebody about derogatory jokes that I think are funny, or that I may think are funny. So the next one, do not use any jokes that are negative or put downs. Just stay positive. This is still social media. It is business social media. It is still social media, so stay positive. If you can't be positive, don't do it. It will come back to bite you, or you will limit your reach so much that it won't be worth your time. That is just my experience. Also allow 1 to 3 weeks between these messages. I'm a little more aggressive, so I like to space mine out about 1 week. Some people do 10 days to 2 weeks, which is fine. I wouldn't get over 3 weeks because they tend to forget you and, well, who is this person messaging me? Anyway, follow up. Autoresponders like email systems, MailChimp, Active Campaigns, if you can get their email address. I do not suggest you download email addresses off of LinkedIn and load them into an autoresponder. You can do cold email that way. I would not do this personally starting out. I would wait till I understood LinkedIn and my list a lot better. Some of the cold email systems that I use or have used in the past for other types of campaigns. There's one out there called Mailshake, which is very reasonably priced, very full-featured for that. And then a much more full-featured one is called QuickMail. Both are very good. Just depends on what you're looking for. As I said before, message first-level connections every few months to keep them warm. Post videos, articles, because they'll see those because they are connections. And you can post those just to connections if you want to. So the other things you can do are a couple of add-ons here to the follow-up. Again, do not ever sell on LinkedIn other than the call to action to get them off LinkedIn. LinkedIn is for connecting, engaging, building know, like, trust, and value between you and the person that you've connected with. Always take them off of LinkedIn to present your offer. The only sell that we're doing here is getting the phone call or meeting, and it must be in a personal one-to-one type manner. Again, I'm going to say it one more time. Do not sell on LinkedIn other than the call to action. Okay, tracking and nurturing. Almost done. Tailor your approach. It's not one size fits all. You want to build, and you're looking to build long-term relationships so you can stay on top of mind, so that when they are ready, you're already there. You're in front of them. They know, like, and trust you, and they value what you're putting out there. Here's a URL with some interesting facts that I like. First one is 80% of sales require 5 follow-up calls. These can be messages on LinkedIn. 44% of sales reps give up after 1 follow-up. So don't be the person that gives up after the thank you or the first follow-up. You want to keep going on that. And then the last one I really like is 78% of salespeople using social media outsell their peers. LinkedIn is social media for business, so keep that in mind. You also want to vary your touch points, or you can vary your touch points. I strongly suggest this. You can invite them to an industry event or webinar. You can ask for their opinion, ask for their help on something. Introduce them to other professionals. If you find out a little bit about them, what they're looking for, and you don't have it, provide value to them. They may do the same for you. Invite them to lunch or a happy hour or meet up, some type of BNI or leads meeting type events in the mornings that they have around. Also, look to boost other people's, like their content, share, provide endorsements and recommendations. And if you really want to go all out, if you think it's worth it, you can send them a gift card. Say, hey, I'd love to buy you a cup of coffee. Here's a $5 Starbucks card. It does work. Okay, case studies. Before we talk about case studies, please do message me on LinkedIn. If we're not connected, if we're not first level, just send me an invitation. I will accept it. And then just ask for the case studies, and I'll shoot a link over to you with a couple of case studies or 3 or, whatever you're looking for. That was quite a lot. I know I went through it pretty fast, and you can come back and watch this recording anytime you would like, as many times as you like. But you can do this. Really, you can do it for 30 minutes or less a day, but you do need to do it every day without fail, because that's what makes it work. You want to invite 5 people, no more, to start off with. After you've done it for a few weeks, you can start upping it a little bit, but I wouldn't ever get over 20. Message those that connect, thank them, that first thank you, that first message back, thank them. And about 50% of people that you invite will connect with you if your profiling is done well and it's client facing, and if your targeting is right. That should give you about 50 to 60 connections a month. Out of those, about 20% should reply in one form or another. And out of those connections, about 5% you should be able to generate phone calls. That means you should get 2 to 3 qualified sales calls, quality qualified sales calls a month, which if you're closing 1 in 3, which if you targeted correctly and you've done your profile correctly, the people that are going to connect and and message and reply to you are going to be people that are going to be interested in what you're doing. So you should be able to close a fairly high percentage of those. So the question is 10 hours a month worth one new client? Well, that depends on your price point. Like I said earlier, this is not for everybody. This is business to business. You do need a fairly high price point to make this worth your time. But also keep in mind that this little scenario right here does not include groups or other types of touches. Offline meetings, like I said, meetup groups, things like that. This is just messaging. So that is the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. My phone number is there, 888-830-8233. You can reach me at TAD, T-A-D, at RevGrow, RevGrow.com, or you can go on the internet and put in the URL box up at the top, scheduleacallwithtad.com, and it will bring up my Calendly link, and you can schedule a call with me and we can chat. If you have any questions, please do remember it's 888-830-8233 or tad at revgrow.com, or schedule a call with tad.com to pick a time on my calendar, and we can chat that way. If you'd like, you're welcome to share this with anyone that may be of interest or that you'd like to. Or again, if you have questions, just let me know. Would love to talk to you. Have a great rest of your week. Bye.